So yesterday what we did was chapter 2, verse 45, 46, 47, I think. So here Sri Krishna gave an explanation that the Vedas have given us the way how we can live in this world. It is basically like a operational manual, operational manual. Everybody has an operational manual. So you have to work like this, you have to do this, if you do this, you will get that, so on and so forth. But the operational manual is only committed to a certain thing in the company. It is not at all responsible for how things work otherwise. So, if you follow the book, you will get certain benefits. This is understood by human beings. So, if you follow certain rules and regulations in this world, you will get certain benefits as per the scriptures. But these benefits which come to us because of following the particular scripture is not going to lead us to permanent happiness. Is not going to give us anything which is going to be longer lasting. It's a temporary thing. I may ask for, say, give me 1,000 rupees. So God will give you 1,000 rupees. What is going to happen to 1,000 rupees in one day? It's going to get blown up. So it is exactly like that. Nothing comes and stays with you. So likewise, in the same way, suppose you ask for relationships. Relationships are going to last for, see, earlier I could have said for years, 20 years, 30 years, 50 years. But today, even 20 hours is not enough. Like it can be less than 20 hours. Okay. So you don't feel like being with that person. So even relationships are become so, worn out, like in a shortest duration of time. It's just like our phones. Phones get replaced very fast. Every year some new phone is going to come and you will replace that one with a new one. So relationships are that. So even if you ask the God for relationships, it's going to be very temporary because the age itself demands like that, The yuga is like that. So what is permanent in this world? So you can't get anything permanent. So if you ask anything from any deity, God or whatever, it's not going to come. Even if it comes, it's going to be temporary and it's going to get vanished very fast because it is in the domain of Prakriti. This you got to know. Then, what happens over here is, if you are enlightened by chance, okay, then all these scriptures are of no value to you. You can chuck them away. It's like, think about it. You have just become a graduate. You have become a graduate, you have done your engineering and something like that. What do you do with your books after that? So you take your books and either you sell them or give it away to somebody or say, what is the point? So this is what happens. So knowledge by itself is of no use. The Vedas themselves become redundant in the hands of enlightened people because it is of no use to them. Then lastly, what we discussed was that you have to do some things in the world which are very, very critical and which are important that you got to do. That's called the duty. A duty has to be performed, but never, the focus should never be that I am going to get something out of it. Many a times people do this. They serve somebody, but they expect something in return. So let us say, for example, there are, old parents. These old parents are taken care of by youngsters. Some son, some daughter, whoever takes care. And they hope that in the end, whatever property that is left will come to me. The gold jewelry, this, that, the house, the properties, everything will come to me. And by chance, this old person, after death, you see the will, it is written that the property is now given to somebody who has never stayed with that person. Maybe an elder brother who is staying in some faraway place and never even bothered to come over there to take care. Then it is going to be very painful for the person who is doing that, because the intentions were that I am taking care of you so that I get the property. So people do this transactional business. So anytime when you do any transactional business, even if it is marriage, I want a tall, dark, handsome guy and I want to happily live ever after. So happily live ever after is only in storybooks. There is no happily ever live after, okay? After this you will never be happy. It's always going to be miserable forever. And this is the truth. Relationships means you are like two vessels, together. You are going to, crash against each other and make a lot of noise. It is going to happen. So there is nothing called a living hereafter in peace and nothing like that. So don't bother your head about this kind of things. So this is what was explained. So a person should never focus on the end results. Alright. So now we will move on to the next one. So we are doing chapter 2, verse 48 from the Bhagavad Gita. Arjuna, perform your duties established in yoga, renouncing attachments, and be even-minded in success and failure. Evenness of mind is called yoga. The definition of yoga is there in the Bhagavad Gita. This is the definition. Sri Krishna says, when you have evenness of mind, when you have equanimity of mind, that is called yoga. Yoga doesn't mean any physical activities. It doesn't mean sitting in meditation. It doesn't mean anything else. Yoga is nothing but when your mind is controlled, you are one with the divine. Did you get the answer? When your mind is controlled, you are one with the divine. Sri Krishna is not saying you have to destroy your mind. He is not saying these words. He is saying control your mind. So your mind should have evenness. Evenness means if it is hot or cold, bad or good, when you are being praised or when you are being trashed around. In both the circumstances, you should have evenness. That means your reaction should be zero. So if somebody praises you, don't think that you are going to rise to some level. No. Don't feel elated just because somebody is praising you. And don't feel bad or depressed when somebody is saying something bad about you. That is called evenness of mind. You are not swinging. You are centered. And when you are centered, when you have evenness of mind, it is called yoga. So yoga is described as evenness of mind. When you have evenness of mind, you are one with the Lord. Got it? So that is the reason why don't get into all these different definitions of yoga. Because the more number of people that enter this domain, they think body exercises, different kinds of rituals and rites and whatever that they do is called yoga. No. It is just something which people have started creating in the last few centuries. These things are not old. These things have not been given by the Lord. Somebody comes in the way and starts dishing out different information. And people start believing in this nonsense. There is only one God. There is only one God. You can call him by any name you feel like. Krishna, Bhagwan, Parameshwar, Narayan, I don't know, whatever name you want to call him. You can call him Shiva also. Does it really matter? You can call him by the name Father in heaven, you can call him Allah, you can call him whatever you want to. Nobody is going to say anything to you because you are only talking of that one divine. There is only one divine. You are also that divine, because if God is everywhere, He is inside you also, isn't it? Common sense will tell you, God is everywhere, we say. Then don't you think He is inside you? But if He is inside you, why is it that you don't feel like it? You feel miserable like a human being and you say, oh, I feel so sad, I feel so terrible, I am stressed out, I have tensions, I have this, I have that, I have A, D, B, C, D, A, B, all those letters that they have, A, D, H, D, A, B, C, D, X, Y, Z, whatever letters you want. You can keep on adding all that. So God has ADHD. I never knew that. Okay. This is a wrong way of looking at it. You are capable of becoming that, except that first you got to remove this ignorance that is there in you. Ignorance means I am an ordinary person. I am incapable of doing anything. I don't know what to do with my life. Okay? I got to go and ask some specialist in this field. What am I supposed to do? And then you fall into that trap. There is no need. Spirituality is only knowing what is there to be known. Alright? It's already there inside of you. As a guru, the job is only to pull that thing out from inside. You are like this diamond which is found somewhere. Okay, it's like a rock. Nobody knows it's a diamond. It's like a rock. It's a shiny, shiny rock somewhere. And then what happens is, you take the rock, wash it, clean it up thoroughly, then break it down into small bits, then go and polish it. After polishing, the more number of facets that it develops becomes a shining diamond. So now you think about it, was the diamond already there in that rock or not there? It was already there. Likewise, you've seen all these, if you go to Venice and Rome and Italy, wherever you want to go, in all these beautiful marble, statues that you see, do you think that Venus de Milo was already there in that stone? In the marble stone, was she there or not there? The idea is, it just got shaped out into that. So some expert is required. The sculpturer, okay? The sculptor is required because he sculpts out that thing from inside. So you can call me that sculptor if you want. We are the sculptors, we shape you into a beautiful human being. In the essence of Venus de Milo. Okay, you got it? So you will become that Venus, you will become that Apollo you want, you can become whatever you want. The job of the guru is only he's like a diamond polisher, You understand a diamond polisher? He just takes that rough cut diamond and starts polishing. And please understand, when you are getting polished, you are going to feel all the pain in the world. So the diamond is already there in that stone. The guru's job is to polish that diamond. And then you start shining. Then what is the value of the diamond? You can't say. It can be the most expensive diamond in the world. So like that. So already you are an existential person. You are already there. But you are lying in a heap. Heap, all the dust and grime around you, that is all your family, relatives, this world around you, people, places and things. Like I own a BMW, see? I saw Jeff Bezos with his some 455 feet, ship of his. Okay, fine, very nice. But think about it. You may be owning the best of the things. That is making you absolutely human. So to get out of that, to get out of all these people, place and things, Place means what? You are saying, oh, I am from this country, I am from that country, I belong to this state, I belong to that state. It doesn't matter. Just because you are born over there doesn't give you some great, influence or anything like that. So, spirituality is like that. So, Sri Krishna is explaining over here, he says, Arjuna, perform your duties established in yoga. I started with the definition of yoga. He says, evenness of mind is yoga. So, first you got to have evenness of mind. Okay? Now, just now, let us say that there is a noise over here, krrrr, like that. Okay? And I keep on, what is this? Who is this making that noise? I get disturbed by it. So, I am not going to be in yoga. Please remember that. So, there should be no disturbance whatsoever. Okay? There should be no disturbance in your mind. So, your mind should have something which is called evenness. Okay? This evenness of mind is like the flat line. You understand the flat line? when you see your own graph like this on the whatever the doctor shows you, zig, 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 it goes like that. So you are alive, but when you are flatlined, you are dead. So your mind should not be reacting to anything. It should be literally like a straight line. Don't react to anything. Let the world do what it wants. It can praise you to the heavens. You can be the worst person in earth also. People can call you names. Still don't get disturbed. This is what he means. Those who perform their duties with an undisturbed mind. Mind should not be disturbed. That is called yoga. Got it? Now apply it in your life. You could be eating food. I will give you an example of Buddha. You see, Buddha used to have, satsangs like this only. Not on the internet, there was no Zoom call. But he was having satsangs. He would sit on a high pedestal over there. And the satsangs used to go on for hours. But when it was lunchtime, he will take a break. Okay? So when there is a lunchtime, he will take a break and he will go for eating his lunch, food. So when he went to eat his lunch, he is very quiet. So he takes whatever food that is there, sits in one place and starts eating. So one of his disciples feels that, Guruji is sitting alone, Buddha is sitting alone. I should go and talk to him a little bit. You know how we talk during lunch, no? Nyam, 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 and blah, 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 blah. Both the things, our mouth is going, running very far. So this fellow goes to Buddha and starts talking. Buddha never even pays any attention to him. He's eating very peacefully and quietly. After that, he washes his plate, keeps it away, and very quietly he's walking back to his dais. So this disciple, he gets very upset. Buddha didn't speak to me. What is wrong with him? Something wrong with him. Something is affecting him or what? So he asks Buddha, what is wrong with you? Then Buddha looks at him and says, nothing is wrong with me. I was just having my lunch. Okay? You are a disturbance in that. So the single pointedness with which you do that thing is very important. The idea is your mind should be even. Even if there is jabber, jabber, chitter, chitter, all this kind of noises around you should not affect you. Those who go to clubs and all those discos and all these places, I am sure, the noise levels are the highest over there. So when the noise levels are high, you still have to shout and talk to a person. Literally you are shouting. And top of it all, over the din above, you are dancing to that. Or maybe you are doing something to that. Why is it that you are not getting affected? The reason why you are not affected by it, because every day, even if you go, that line which is going up and down, the frequency, the way in which the graph moves, for you, it is like this. You are so used to that noise that you have literally blanked it out. Many a times, as a kid, I stayed near the railway station. Railway station was just a stone throw away. It was just less than 50 feet away. Okay? And there were 20 lines in front of me, railway lines. And there were two railway platforms, this side one and the other side one. So one was called Elphinstone Road and the other one was called Parel. The two stations were there, belonging to two separate railways. Not a single hour of the day was that place noiseless. There was constant clackety clack of the railway, the train going this way, either this platform, that platform, or the fast train going, and there was so much of noise. But as a kid, I had trained myself not to hear anything. So the noise was going on. I would be lost in my books. I was a bookworm. Okay, so I would be lost in my books, oblivious to the world. I had no idea what was happening in the world. And my room was just facing outwards, and we never had windows or anything like that. There were holes in the wall. Okay. So through that the noise would be seeping in continuously. I would sleep in that room. But it never affected me. So likewise, mind should not be affected. So Sri Krishna says, perform your duties established in yoga, renouncing attachments. Don't bother about getting attached to any place, man or things, whatever. Don't bother about it. Just because that person is your husband or wife, just because somebody is your child, just because somebody is known to you, don't get bothered by it. See, they love to jabber, you just sit over there like that. You can actually imagine the whole thing. Your mind should be peaceful, even in the highest of the din, highest of the noise levels. Don't bother. People just talk. You should not be so much involved in that. It doesn't mean that you should not be listening to what they are saying. Okay? Otherwise, tomorrow they will have to knock you on your head to find out, are you listening? No, it means don't react to it. Your ear's job is listening. Okay? But it is, the reaction is of the mind, not of the ear. Got the answer or no? Reaction is of the mind, not of the ear. Reaction is of the nose. You may get a dirty smell. Or it might be a perfume. Okay? There is a perfumed lady going from near you. Don't do like this and follow her with your eyes. Okay? That is what it meant. So, don't get involved in that action. So it's like that. You may hear somebody talking bad about you. Oh, this fellow, no, the new guy who has joined our company is the biggest idiot on earth. He is the boss's nephew, that is why. And you are overhearing that conversation. and you feel like bashing that fellow up. Now, what does he think of himself? I am educated, I did this. Your mind starts talking, isn't it? Reaction is happening. So Krishna says, this is the important verse, that's why I am doing this in detail. You should get an understanding of the subject. What is yoga? Yoga is misunderstood by people as doing some body activity. Yoga means, performing hatha yoga. No. Nothing like that. Hatha yoga is only for body. You become perfect in your body. That means you know how to take your breath in, breath out, this, that, all those kind of things. Even a monkey does it. Alright? Monkey can hang on the, with one leg, one hand and all that. Doesn't he do yoga all the time? He can stand on his head also. Even a monkey can do it. Even think about it. Does it mean that he is performing yoga? Don't get into all that thing, because that is the wrong way of looking at it. It is misusing the word. They are saying hatha yoga is yoga. No, yoga means equanimity of mind. Equanimity of mind and performing your duties accordingly. So perform the duties in the material world according to what is required. Just as suppose you are required to eat your food. Buddha was eating his food. Remember? He was not involved in it. There's another story of Buddha, which is very common, but I will tell you. I don't know why Buddha comes into the picture, but we need two characters, okay? So these are two characters. One is Buddha and one is some disciple of his. The disciple is always an idiot, okay? So let us consider this. So one is a knowledgeable person and one is an idiot. So Buddha is going down the road, and one person comes across and he is going with his disciple. So one person is walking towards him, and when this person is walking towards him, what happens is he starts talking to Buddha something very animatedly, and he abuses Buddha. You are supposed to do this, blah 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 blah. Buddha only keeps on looking at him. After some time, the person gets tired of talking. So Buddha says, have you finished? He says, yes. Thank you. Have a nice day, and walks away. So the disciple who is walking along with Buddha is getting very upset. How can somebody talk to my Guruji like this? I want to bash him up. I want to destroy him. I want to do this. I want to, disciples are always like this. They want to do something to this person. So this disciple asked Buddha, why didn't you get angry and upset when that fellow was talking so derogatorily about you? Buddha looks at him. I didn't listen to it. Did you listen? He says, yes. You do what you want. You want to bash him up? Go bash him up. But I am not going to do anything, because I didn't listen to it. It was just jabber, 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 jabber. The person was arguing. My mind was having evenness. So there is no need for us to listen to all the crap that is going on. So just keep quiet. Don't bother your head about it, and just be silent. That's it. So I hope you understand this meaning of these words. Perform your duties established in yoga, evenness of the mind, that is. Renouncing attachment. Don't get attached just because that person is talking bad to you. And be even-minded in success and failure. Both success and failure should be seen as the same thing. If you have successful, okay, suppose you get some, first class degree, you get gold medal and whatever, don't get elated just because of that. Or somebody gets a fantastic job, okay, person gets so elated with it, and there is another person who never got the job and never got educated also. That person is feeling so terrible about it because he considers himself as a failure. But 20 years from now, the person who might have got this fantastic degree will be nowhere in this world. And the person who has not done anything in life, no degree or anything, might be the richest man in the world. Now go and see about all these people, all the top CEOs and the chairmen of the company, they are hardly educated. But all the top-notch people, whoever they are, engineers, this, that, you name it, big fancy designations they have got, okay, they are just employees. They work for their living. And they go back and they feel, oh, I served for so many years. You are still a servant, sir. You might be a vice president, you might be a CTO also of a company, but you are still a servant. So what is the big deal that happened? So don't get disturbed just because there is a failure in your life or there is success in your life. You got to have evenness of mind. So Sri Krishna has explained this yoga in a very beautiful manner. Please take it very seriously. Yoga means evenness of mind. Your mind should not be disturbed even in success or failure. And then performing the duties as required in this world. So perform the duties established in yoga. Yoga means evenness of mind, which directly means union with God. So you are one with God. Okay, so we have come to the end of verse 48. We have done only one verse. Today I told you it's a very important verse. So yeah, so we are going slow. So we will stop over here.